welcome to your open practice. My name is Melissa, and I will be your guide for the next 60 minutes or so. This practice is inherently meditative, slow, and grounding. I invite you to make yourself comfortable, cozy, and warm. Put on your favorite sweatshirt, sweatpants, socks. You may also want to have a blanket close by for this practice. And as well, I invite you, if it's available, to find some cushions. You can use cushions from around your home, or if you have traditional yoga props, a chip foam or a bolster would work great for this practice. If you don't have any of those props, no problem. None of them are absolutely necessary. We can use the ground and our own musculature to support our bodies throughout this practice. When you're ready, find your way into a comfortable, tall seat. I recommend sitting yourself up on a prop, one of your cushions perhaps, or maybe even leaning your back against a wall if you need that support. As you feel safe, comfortable, gently close your eyes. Bring your vision inward. Feeling a sense of the body softening here. And finding a delicate balance of effort and ease. The effort coming from maintaining a nice tall spine, maybe a slight engagement through the belly, back extensor muscles, helping to keep you upright. And the softening of the shoulders and the hips and the knees towards the earth. As you start to settle into your body here, just allowing any thoughts come and go. I'm just beginning to notice the chatter or the busyness of your mind in this moment. And then notice the part of you noticing the busyness of the mind, the chatter. And this is your highest self, the observer. And then from this seat of observation, take hold the reins of your wild mind, shifting your awareness and your attention away from the chatter and softly resting it on the awareness of your breath. And there's no need to change the intensity, the depth, or the volume of your breath in this moment, just paying attention to how it naturally flows in through the nose, and out through the nose, or perhaps the mouth. If it feels difficult for the breath to hold your attention, then you'll begin to deepen the breath, breathing a little more intentionally, giving the breath a little more of your focus. Trying not to strain in order to find a deep, full inhale, but instead sipping, drawing in the breath slowly and steadily. Letting each exhale just invite you and remind you to soften into your body and into the present moment. As breath escapes the body, feeling a sense of surrender and of calm. And throughout this practice, allowing each breath to be a steady reminder to be present in the experience as it happens. Let's take about 5 more breaths together. You're welcome to keep the eyes closed here or gently flutter the open, but keep your gaze soft, looking down towards the ground or the tip of your nose. We're going to slowly and mindfully shift our body into a tabletop position. If you were seated on a prop, just take it off to the side and place it towards the top of your mat in preparation for future postures. You'll find your wrists under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. When you arrive here, just slowly start to explore a bit of movement into the body. Really just flushing out any stagnant energy, or maybe it's jittery or busy energy in the body before we really dive into our practice. I want you to trust yourself here, moving intuitively, finding what feels best on your body, knowing that you know what you need. You've come to the mat to carve out time and space to give that to yourself, so do that here. There's no wrong way to move. And as best you can, try to link each movement with a breath and go slow. Then when you're ready, finding your way back to tabletop position with the shoulders over the wrists, the knees under the hips. Take an inhale as you lift your tail up, chest up, chin up, eyes up. And as you exhale, gently press the earth away as you round the spine, tuck your tailbone, tuck your chin. As you inhale again, lift tail up, chest up, chin up, eyes up. Exhale to round. And continuing with your flow, allowing the rhythm and the pace of the movement to be set by the rhythm and the pace of your breathing. And again, if the mind feels really busy here, deepening your inhales and maybe just stretching the breath. Longer inhales and exhales. And this will be the most movement that we explore in our practice. So really move to the edges, the borders of your being. Express yourself fully through this movement. Taking your time. There's absolutely no rush here. And we'll do about 3 more rounds of breath. On your next inhale, whenever that is in your flow, finding tabletop position once again. As you exhale, big toes come to touch. Slide your hips back to your heels as you find your first child's pose. Let's make this as supportive and restorative as possible. You may want to slide one of your cushions beneath your forehead. If you don't have a cushion close by, you can stack your palms or your fists, creating a ledge for your forehead here on stacked palms or stacked fists. Alternatively, as long as your head is supported, it might feel good to wrap the arms around the outer edges of the body, resting the palms face up next to the feet. Once you've made any adjustments that you need here, take a big breath in to greet this new posture, this new moment, maybe some new sensation. And as you exhale, soften and surrender here. We'll be lingering here for maybe a little longer than you're used to. If for any reason this deep flexion, this bend in the knee feels uncomfortable or is inaccessible for you, then you can go ahead and caterpillar onto your belly, extend your legs long, and you can still stack your fists or your palms, creating a ledge for yourself here. Just giving the knees a little break. And throughout this practice, as we settle into various postures, stretches, find new depths of relaxation, I'll invite you and remind you of three things. And the first is to breathe. Really settling your awareness and your attention on your breath. Allowing yourself to be present with each inhale and each exhale not only keeps you in the present moment, keeps you connected to your body, but sharpens and fine-tunes your focus. The second is to be patient. Resist the temptation to wiggle or shake away any thought, any feeling, anything you might experience through your practice. And the third is, as much as possible, be still. So much of our time, of our lives is spent in motion, moving from one point to another. So savor this opportunity to just slow right down to a halt. Let yourself spend time here and just notice what arises when you do. Let's take 5 more breaths here together. Go slow. As you start to extend arms overhead, palms come mat width apart. If you're on your belly, stay as you are. If you're coming from child's pose, lift the gaze, look towards the top of your mat. Take an inhale as you caterpillar onto your belly. As you exhale, stretching the legs long behind you. Take another inhale. You'll lift your head and chest up, and as you exhale, slide your palms forward until your elbows come to rest beneath your armpits. We arrive in Sphinx pose here, taking an inhale to lift the head and chest up a little higher. As you exhale, feel a widening across the collarbones as you draw your shoulders back and slightly down. Now there's a few options, variations here available to you to support your body. The first is to take your legs about mat width apart, especially if you have any tension or compression through the low back. this is a lot of extension, this lift feels really tight or constrictive in the back, then you might also want to just walk your elbows forward. This will bring your heart a little closer down towards the earth and the spine, a little closer to a neutral position. The third option is to grab your cushion, slide it underneath your sternum or your low ribs. You can also do this with a bolster or a rolled up blanket and support your rib cage as you slightly lift the head and chest forward and up. And you might also do a combination of all of these things, taking the legs wide, the elbows forward, and supporting or propping the low ribs. Once you arrive here, you can gently nod chin in towards the chest. And if you want to support the head, you can even bend the elbows, interlace your fingers, and just cup the forehead in your palms. This can feel really great, especially if you hold a lot of tension through the head, neck, and shoulders. And then again, we take an inhale to greet this new moment, new experience in our bodies, in our practice. And exhale to soften and surrender to it. In that surrender, committing to stillness and allowing the experience to flow through us. And again, if the mind is busy, if you feel distracted, deepen your breath and just tether your awareness to your breathing. And as we start to dive deeper into our practice, you might notice a bit of resistance bubbling up. Again, it might manifest as a desire to wiggle, to move, to fidget. The mind might want to carry you anywhere but here. And just be easy on yourself and keep guiding yourself back to breath. Remaining in the seat of your highest self, the observer, in control of where you land, where you place your attention, your focus, your intention. And you're welcome to stay as you are, or if you're seeking a little more sensation, follow along with me. Making sure palms are grounded. Taking an inhale to lift the head and chest a little higher. With your exhale, rooting down through the palms, starting to extend the arms, straightening up at the elbows, lifting the ribs, the chest a little bit higher off the ground as you transition into seal pose. Now, this is going to be the most intense, most sensational extension through the spine. So if you have any lower back injuries, sciatica, anything that limits your ability to lift up into this position, then just remain in your classic Sphinx or any modification you may have taken. This is simply a suggestion. Trust yourself as, again, you know what you need here. From wherever you are, let's take 5 more breaths together. If you are in seal pose, arms extended, with your next inhale, can you lift your head and chest just slightly higher? As you exhale, soften your elbows, your forearms back down to the ground. All together in Sphinx pose, take an inhale, lift your head and chest a little bit higher. As you exhale, stack your palms, take your elbows wide, spiral your gaze to the right as your left cheek or left temple comes onto your stacked palms. Maybe wiggle into the hips, finding a bit of a release here. You might want to bend the knees, windshield wiper side to side. And then gently relax the legs down to the ground. Find a bit of softening here. Breathe. With your gaze turned to the right, go ahead and slide your right knee up towards your right elbow. Knee slides along the ground. Right foot stays grounded as you transition into big baby. I'm just starting to open up hips here. Just continuing to allow the body to be soft and experience any sensation that arises here. In slow motion, slide your right leg long behind you. Lift the head, turn your gaze all the way over to the left, taking your right temple or your right cheek onto stacked palms. And then as you feel ready, slide your left knee up towards your left elbow for big baby on the other side. Again, in slow motion, start to slide left leg long behind you. Spiral the gaze down towards the mat as you slide your hands underneath your shoulders. Take an inhale as you rise through tabletop. And as you exhale, continue pressing the hips all the way back as we find child's pose once again. This time the arms might stay extended overhead, or again, you're welcome to stack palms or stacked fists, creating a little ledge for yourself. Settle in and keep breathing. And taking these moments, these opportunities to take a quick scan through your body as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, maybe just inviting any parts of the body that are working harder than they need to be here to just soften, to find ease, to let go of tension consciously. Moving slowly and mindfully, tense your fingertips on either side of your knees. Go slow, nodding chin towards the chest as you unravel. Come to sit up nice and tall, stacking bone by bone, vertebra by vertebra. You'll come to arrive on your heels just momentarily before sliding down to one bum cheek. You can either swing your legs in front of you and maybe shimmy yourself forward towards the front of your mat. I'm just going to turn around here. Another option for you as well. Slowly and steadily, using your hands to the back of your thighs as support, ease your spine all the way down to the mat. When you arrive on the mat, hugging your knees into your chest, give yourself a good squeeze. Maybe a gentle rock, shoulder to shoulder, hip to hip. Noticing the sensation of the low back against the mat. Maybe opening your eyes, taking a look up at the ceiling and just shifting your gaze, your perspective to a new focal point. Take 2 more breaths here. And the knees come to the center of the chest, finding a bit of stillness. Take a big breath into your upper chest. As you exhale, your forehead rises to meet the knees. Right away, we're going to separate the knees, reach the arms between the legs, grab the pinky toe edges of your feet. Take another big breath in as you slowly lower your head and shoulders down. And as you exhale, lift the soles of your feet to the sky for happy baby. And again, let's find stillness rather than rocking the baby here. Take a big breath in, really feel the belly balloon, compress up against the thighs. And as you exhale, can you really encourage the shoulders to soften down towards the ground? Now, if holding on to the pinky toe edges of your feet really draws the shoulders towards the chin or feels like a lot of effort, then gently slide your hands down, maybe holding on to the ankles. You can also slide your hands to the back of the knees or onto the thighs, letting the heels drip down to the seat, and just hold the knees wide of the shoulders. Take a moment to adjust as you need, settling into any variation that feels the best for you in this moment. Soften here, be still, and keep breathing. And for whatever reason, I find the chatter of the mind particularly busy in Happy Baby. So maybe deepening your breath here. Deepening your commitment, your intention to be still. Noticing any temptation to shake away from this discomfort. And then just be patient, observe. As you hold steady to your commitment to stillness, just notice how the intensity of whatever it is you might be feeling gently dissolves, dissipates. Just with time and observation. As you breathe here for about 5 more rounds, really noticing if you can soften around the edges, even if it's just the expression on your face, softening through the jaw, through the neck. In slow motion, start to lower your left heel towards your left sits bone. Then continue to step the left foot down all the way to the mat as you arrive in half happy baby. The left foot might shimmy a little more towards your midline, towards the center of the mat. Just let the left knee fall out wide as you roll to the pinky toe edge of your left foot. Keep holding on to the right foot. Sole of the right foot continues to point up towards the sky. Now, again, you know what you need here, so continue to modify to the point that feels best in your own body. You might stay exactly as you are here and now, or you might slowly explore stretching the left leg a little longer. It doesn't have to come all the way straight, but finding what feels best for you. And can you notice if the breath is still flowing as smoothly, as steadily as it was in your child's pose or your sphinx? Or just notice if the breath has become constricted, stuck, stagnant. Setting an intention to set the breath free one more time. If your left leg is all the way extended, slowly draw your left heel back towards your left sits bone. Roll your left knee up towards the sky as you slowly place your right ankle on top of your left knee. And you can begin by just gently pressing the right palm into the inner side of your right knee as we transition to figure 4. And again, here might be where you stay, or perhaps you weave your fingers behind your left thigh or onto your left shin, drawing both knees and ankle in towards your chest. Take a moment, make any adjustments you might need here, and then again, commit to being still, being patient, and keep breathing. And the beautiful part to this practice is cultivating a sense of discernment, understanding what serves you, your highest good, your highest self, and what steers you further away from those things. So if you find your body or this pose in a place that is past the point of discomfort, a little discomfort can be a good thing, but if you feel unsafe, if there's any numbness, tingling, sharp or shooting pain, then just allow yourself to step back, maybe coming back to a previous variation or modification. You don't need to sit in suffering in order to achieve a goal. Sometimes it's just about modifying to fit your needs, to fit your current reality, your present moment. There are many paths to the same destination. So just trust yourself, listen to your internal awareness, your inner knowing. And if you need to, you can always place left foot back on the mat and come back to pressing right palm into the inner side of right knee. Still getting all the benefits with just a different sensational experience. Let's hold steady for another 5 to 8 breaths here. Take a big full breath in. Gently sigh it out. One more deep inhale. And with your exhale, slowly lower your left foot down to the ground. Take your arms out wide like airplane wings and slide your right thigh all the way over your left like you're seated in a chair. Take a big breath in. And then as you exhale, let your knees and your right foot drip over to the left, rolling to the pinky toe edge of your left foot. Twisted root or twisted cross-legged twist here. Take a nice big breath in and soften, surrender into this new shape, new experience. Now, right away, if having the legs crossed puts a lot of strain or stress on the outer right hip or maybe the low back, you can go ahead and uncross the legs. Stack your ankles, your knees, and just draw both knees up a little closer towards your left elbow. You can also slide your right foot back onto the mat, staggering the knees and the feet. This will be the least sensational, less intense experience for you here. So again, choose your variation to whatever suits your body, your needs best. And this is the time, the space to really serve yourself first. Take care of your body, take care of your mind, giving yourself whatever it is that you need here. If it feels safe and comfortable on your neck, you might spiral your gaze over to the right, looking at your outstretched right arm, or gently closing the eyes here. And this is a really great posture, again, to just notice if there are points of tension, places in the body that are just working harder than they need to right now. Making sure the fingers and toes are soft, the expression on your face is softened, neck and jaw feel at ease. About 5 more breaths here. Okay, with your next inhale, gently lift your gaze back up towards the sky. As you exhale, a gentle pulling inward of the belly. That'll just help support the low back as you bring your knees up towards the sky. You can uncross the legs first or uncross them on the way. When you arrive on your back, right away, extend the legs long. Arms can stay out wide. Don't worry if you're a little crooked on your mat. We'll correct in a moment. Just take this opportunity to be formless, shapeless. Let the body be soft. Taking inventory to just notice what you feel here. Maybe noticing if the right side of the body feels slightly different than the left. Again, noticing if there's a little residual tension or gripping or holding on that you can let go of here. Maybe just coming back to the seat of the observer, the highest self, and just noticing your body in its current experience, the thoughts that are present, and the flow of your breath. Take again a full breath in, full breath out. When you're ready, go slow, draw your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a squeeze, rock shoulder to shoulder, hip to hip. Take an inhale into your upper chest. As you exhale, forehead rises to the knees. One more time, you're going to separate the knees, reach the arms between the legs, grab the pinky toe edges or the ankles. Take a big breath in, lower the head down, and as you exhale, soles of the feet lift up towards the sky. Once again, we revisit happy baby. Even if you've been here many, many times before, just approach it or arrive here with a sense of newness and curiosity. Won't be here for long, just taking a big breath in. Steady breath out. Move slow this time. The right heel drips towards the right sits bone. And slowly the right foot steps down towards the mat. Again, as soon as the foot lands on the mat, can you drip your right knee out wide, coming to the pinky toe edge of your right foot and maybe shimmying the right foot closer towards the midline of your body. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, soften here. Now, again, this might be the perfect level of discomfort, compression, of effort. If you're seeking a little more, if you want to dive a little deeper, then slowly start to extend the right leg. Notice how that shifts and changes the experience, the sensation for you. Sometimes it often doesn't take much to completely transform the experience. So don't worry if the leg doesn't go completely straight. You can just play around until you find the point that is comfortably uncomfortable for you here. And then the work, the real work, is to find ease, to find peace within this posture. And that often manifests as a smooth and steady breath. So just notice how you're breathing here. If the right leg is extended, slowly draw the right heel back towards the right sits bone. Slowly plant the sole of your right foot onto the mat, lifting your right knee to the sky as you slowly, gracefully transition left knee onto the right, left ankle rather, onto the right knee. And with your left palm, gently press the left knee away from your left shoulder. Breathe. And again, here might be where you stay, or perhaps you weave your fingers onto your right thigh or onto your right shin as you draw both knees and your left ankle in towards your chest. Take a big breath in, greet this new experience. And a big breath out to soften and surrender. And again, this is a practice of self-cultivation. One of the tools that serves us on our mat and off is that discernment, that skill. So again, if anything just doesn't feel quite right, you don't need to label it. You don't need to explain why. You just need to adjust, to modify. Start to figure out what feels the best for you in your body, in your life. And sometimes maybe it's a dialing back, a softening. So So if you need to, just adjust here before we settle in for another 5 to 8 rounds of breath. Take again a big breath in. Gently sigh it out. Make the breath audible here. One more time, a big breath in. And with an easy exhale, slowly release your right foot down to the ground. Arms come out wide, once again like airplane wings, crossing left thigh over the right this time. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, rolling to the pinky toe edge of your right foot, twisted root on the other side. Again, the legs can stay crossed here, or perhaps you step your left foot down onto the mat, or stack left knee, left ankle on top of right and draw the knees up a little higher towards your right elbow. Finding the variation that feels best, feels most supportive for you here, and really just allows you to settle in with as much effortlessness and ease as possible. If it feels okay through the cervical spine, through the neck, the head, the shoulders, maybe you spiral your gaze over to the left-hand side this time, looking at your outstretched left palm, or gently closing the eyes. Now we spend a little time going inward, diving deeper and deeper into our practice. You might find a little less physical resistance. Maybe the body feels a bit more at ease, a bit more calm. But you may notice that the mind is starting to take you out of your practice, out of your body. Very rarely does the mind like to be where the body is. So as we turn the corner, rounding towards the end of our practice, hold steady to your intention. Just be patient, be still. Compassionately, kindly keep bringing your attention, your awareness back to your breath. Home stretch here. Settle in for about 5 more to 8 more breaths. With your next inhale, lifting the gaze up towards the sky if it's not there already. As you exhale, gently drawing the belly towards the spine, uncrossing the legs and rolling onto the back body. Knees can come up towards the sky to begin. Maybe resetting the hips back to what feels like center mat. And then you can slowly transition to your final rest and relaxation. If you want to drape a blanket over yourself, maybe throw on some additional layers, now's the time to do so. You can bend at the elbows and bring the palms to connect somewhere onto the physical body or to rest alongside the body. Palms up to receive, palms down to ground. If there's any sensation happening through the low back or any discomfort that feels unsafe in the low back, bend your knees. Take your feet about mat width apart and just let the knees relax in towards each other. Can feel a little more supportive here and allow you to find a deeper place of settling, of relaxation. Whenever you're ready, take a big breath in. Now greeting the absence of shape, the absence of sensation. And a big breath out as you settle in. Just be still. Soften, soften, soften. And just allowing the weight of your muscles, your tissues, your bones to settle down into the earth. Notice what it feels like to just completely let yourself be at ease. To feel safe and supported in your body and your being. And for this moment in time, perhaps feeling the same in your life. And the beautiful thing about this practice is this sense of self-awareness it cultivates within. Spending intentional time to feel your feelings. At moments, placing yourself at a point of discomfort. Pressing right up against the boundaries of your being and softening there. In this moment, just allow your whole body to relax as that work, that self-work you've done over the past 60 minutes or so integrates. It settles in and becomes a part of your network, your inner wisdom, your programming, your wiring. It becomes a part of who you are. This is the embodied work. Let's rest here together for about 8 to 10 more breaths. If you have the time and space to linger here for a little while longer, I encourage you to do so for as long as is available to you. If you're rising out of this practice with me, go slow as you gently start to invite some movement into the body. And again, you've done the work here to trust yourself, to get to know yourself. So offer whatever it is that your body is asking for, is needing in this moment. Be easy, be gentle. Trust yourself here. You know what you need. If it serves you, the invitation is to interlace your fingers, flip your palms away as you stretch your arms overhead, stretch your legs long down below. Hands and feet move as far away from each other as possible as you take a full breath in. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. And as you exhale, let it all go. Again, if you can stay here on your mat, on your back, do just that. Otherwise, we'll roll to one side. Gently press ourselves up. Bringing our practice full circle, let's meet once again in a nice tall seat. You can sit up on a cushion, a prop, maybe on your shins if that feels comfortable. As we place a hand on the heart, a hand on the belly, bow the chin in gratitude to this incredible body, this incredible practice, acknowledging you for taking this time and space to regulate, calm, and soothe your nervous system, and to spend some intentional time with your feeling, your sensing, your being. I hope you feel as blissed out and as zened as I do. I appreciate you for being here. Thank you for joining me. And I can't wait to see you again very soon. From my heart to yours.